Hey Kay, long-time lurker, occasional poster here. I have a story about my dad that you guys will be interested in good old green text, but first some backstory. Trust me guys, it's important. Dad is a Marine Corps vet, combat engineer, never got to see any action, but looks back fondly on those days. Dad is a really laid-back and peaceful dude, really into guns, owns tons and tons of guns and ammo. He's really patient, just a good dude in general. Nothing ever pisses him off, even when me and my siblings were kids. He would hardly raise his voice at us. He's an accountant for God's sake and just lives a really comfortable life and never has a reason to be mad. Only gets pissed when someone fucks with his family. Like really pissed. One time little bro got in trouble in school for defending himself, and my dad went ballistic on the assistant principal. Long story short, Dad made the assistant principal his bitch and little bro got off scot-free. Anyways, into the story. Be me, 12 years old. Dad thinks it's a good idea to have chickens for eggs and such. Dad one day comes home after work with a box full of 12 chicks. Cute things. Dad loves the chickens and so does the rest of the family. They grow and my dad makes coops for the chickens and lets them walk around free range in our large backyard. Also important to mention, there is a forest behind our house. Dad considers chickens as members of the family because they provide to our household. One day I wake up and get ready for school. Walk downstairs and find my dad is not watching Fox News on the couch like the boomer he is. He is in the backyard. He is bearing a mangled chicken corpse. Dad comes in with the most enraged look on his face. Dad looks at me and asks me if I am going to school tomorrow. I say yes, Dad. Dad replies, "Fuck that. You were staying up with me and we are gonna find the motherfucker who defiled our land." After coming back from school, I find my dad in the backyard in a slit trench he dug out in the backyard. Fucker skipped out and worked to get who killed his chickens. Fast forward to 12 a.m. Me and Dad are in the trench waiting for whoever/whatever showed up last night. Dad has a M1A and my dad gave me an M1 carbine. Out of nowhere, a pack of coyotes are slipping into our backyard through a small ditch in our fence. Dad tells me to hold my fire and wait until they get closer. They come in one by one until there's about 6 coyotes that start sneaking into the kitchen to coop. Dad says wait until the first one gets 1 yard closer to the coop and try to shoot the one that is in the behind of the pack. First coyote gets close to the coop and my dad pops him. I do as he said and I pop the one behind the back. Then me and Dad slaughter the rest of the pack. Adrenaline rushing, .exe. Dad walks over and finds a wounded one and cuts its head off with a knife and chucks it into the forest in the backyard. That will teach him not to fuck with us, right boy? Me and Dad spend the rest of the night putting the coyote corpses in the trench he dug and then burying them. My dad cools down and life goes on for a couple months without incident. One day Mom and my 2-year-old sister wear out back tending the chickens. I was in my room playing some Red Alert 2 on the family PC and Dad was at work. Unit ready.mp3. Hear my mom and sis scream. Rush to the backyard to see what is going on. Mom hugging little sis and comforting her. Apparently a coyote tried to bite my sister, but my mom ran over and kicked it in the snout and ran off. The rage that I had never felt in my whole life until then consumed my prepubescent mind, body, and soul. Finally feel what my dad feels when someone fucks with the people he loves. Spend the rest of the day outside with Dad's M1A and wait for him to come home. Dad finally comes home and I tell him what happened. Watch my dad's face swell with rage and hatred over what happened. Mom is trying to calm my dad, but my dad is too determined to commit a war crime such as genocide against the coyotes who dared to attack his little girl. At around 9 p.m. Dad runs up all the men in the house to the garage, me and my little bro who was 8 at the time. Dad is now in batshit crazy insane fury mode. He's wearing his Marine Corps woodland camis when he was in, plus a H harness filled with AR-15 mags, all sorts of tactical stuff. Tells little bro to stay in the backyard with the dogs along with the M1 carbine to shoot any coyotes in sight. While me and my dad go find their den and hope to slaughter them. Me and Dad leaves to the forest. He takes his AR-15 and his 1911 while I have my Mini 14. Now we've been hunting before, but we were not armed to hunt. We were armed for a slaughter. We search for about 3 to 4 hours and we finally come across a coyote. We follow it and after 5 minutes of trailing it, we reach its den. It's a small cave in the side of a rocky hill. Dad pulls me to a nice concealed observation point and we wait for all the coyotes to congregate. After 30 minutes, me and my dad finally take a good body count and it's about 20 coyotes. Dad starts drawing a diagram on the dirt detailing me how we are gonna ambush the fuckers. Goal is to have them retreat into the cave while thinning their numbers before we slaughter them. Dad goes to another position while I wait for my dad to start firing before I do. My dad no shit goes from the position to the front of the pack and bursts from the tree line, unleashing ill hell. Coyotes panic and try to escape. I prevent that from happening as I drop the ones trying to escape into the forest. As my dad said, they all fell back into the cave and I managed to get like 8 of them. Dad signals me to come to him. I run there with all my adrenaline pumping through my veins. I reach my dad. Dad has an absolute wicked smile on his face. Dad says something like, "Never let anyone get away with hurting the people you care about." My dad lights his flashlight into the cave, revealing the coyotes cowering and crying in the mere presence of my dad. My dad rushes in the cave and begins to empty 2 AR-15 mags into the cave and whips out his 1911 and MCs it. I could not believe my fucking eyes. He has not even entered the cave yet, and the coyotes are screaming at this point as my dad tears into the cave. I follow behind him as he grabs a wounded coyote and begins to pummel the shit out of it with the buttstock of his AR-15 and his fist. Vomit that gif. Did I mention that there was 2 coyotes still alive watching him absolutely bludgeon their comrade? Dad notices the one he was beating by the tail and begins to beat the living shit out of the other 2 with its corpse. Dad noticed it was not very effective, so he elected to quickly end the slaughter with a couple of shots of his 1911. Dad turns around and begins walking to me and tells me we are going home. The walk back home was quiet. Dad says not to tell anyone, especially Mom. We get home and wash up, get to bed and pass out. I don't know what made my dad such a fucking psycho, but I never in my whole life ever crossed my dad, especially after that. I hope you enjoy, Kay.